Oh no, Amazing Fantasy 15 is going down in price. Oh no, it's the Not Hot 10 comics list. What's going on, Russ? How you feeling?
It's amazing. Honestly, I didn't ever think I would have to take out a mortgage on my house to be able to buy something on the Not 10 list. But yeah, as a matter of fact, Amazing Fantasy 15 is on the Not 10 list.
That's right.
Not hot.
It's not hot. Kind of. All right, well, what are we talking about? We're talking about CBSI, comicbookinvest.com. We cover their Hot 10 comics list every Friday.
Yep.
And every Friday, there's also a couple honorable mentions on that list. Well, last month, for the first time, and they typically do it only like once a year,
Right.
they did a not Hot 10 comics list. The books that kind of took a dive a little bit, went the other direction, maybe are kind of turning into sleeper keys, or books that have just gone down in value. We asked the audience, they asked their audience what they thought about it. And you know what? We're here today with another list 1 month in. So I'm thinking the response has been positive.
It absolutely has. And this is something that I think is a lot of fun. Understanding that since there is so much speculation in the market, some things are going to go up, some things are going to go down, some things are going to maintain. And it's kind of nice to be able to keep track of these things. Yes, some things continue to climb. Yes, some things don't. And that's just kind of the nature of the beast. But it's very cool to do some revisiting like we're about to do right now.
Coming in at number 12, because I just want to do all the books. They put the 2 honorable mentions on here.
Do them all.
Coming in at number 12, we have Amazing Fantasy 15, the first appearance of Spider-Man. What's going on with this book? Wait, what? Okay, this is what's going on. 7.5s going for $120,000 with recent sales. Last year, we were looking at this book at right around the $140,000 range. So yeah, you can get a nice condo out here for that amount of money.
Right.
But 20 grand drop. A lot's changed in this last year, and it could be the calming of what was so much hype with the passing of Stan.
It very well could be. Now, I was talking to the guru actually about this book a couple months ago. I had a guy come into the shop and who, I've got $10,000 and I'm looking to buy a copy of AF-15. I texted Jeff and I'm like, what are we looking at? Because this guy even sniff a copy. And Jeff said the low grade ones are going up substantially because so many people are trying to get that key book, but you're going to see that the higher grades aren't moving as quickly. So the people who do want to sell them and flip them and move them for faster books, they might be getting less money, but you're still going to see those 1.0s, 1.5s actually even stronger than before because it had been affordable and it's still, again, $10,000 to $15,000, but it's something that it's in a little bit more affordable range for people who just want to get that grail and then upgrade later.
Absolutely. All right, let's take a look at number 11 on the list because we have one that is it's definitely a book that's dropped. However, if you find this in a long box, it's going to be sold really soon. We have Wonder Woman issue number 184, the Adam Hughes variant.
This is such a cool Adam Hughes variant. It is great. It's got, the old Diana, new Diana. They just look fantastic together. And the whole run, I mean, that chunk, there's about, 30, 40 books
so
of Adam
underrated.
Hughes. They are all great. And most of them are really, really undervalued. Speaking of undervalued, on my Overstreet questionnaire, they always have, do you see any books that are significantly overpriced?
He's an Overstreet price guide advisor
Right,
now,
so significantly overpriced or underpriced. This is one of the books that I said, Wonder Woman 184, which has been $4 in the Overstreet price guide for years. Well, we're talking about how 9.8s were $300 last year, and it's gone down, so it's less than $200, and the raw ones are less than $100. The Overstreet price guide is $4.
Right.
So even if the raws are under $100, it's not that it's a bad book or a soft book or you shouldn't buy it. We're also between the movies now. Understand that this was a lot hotter when the movie came out, and then Wonder Woman 1984 is supposed to be coming out soon. Expect this book to recover.
Absolutely. All right, let's jump into this list here at number 10. We have X-23 making the list. We have All New Wolverine number 1. This is the local comic shop day variant. It's the sketch cover. This book went for over $300 for several years, and now it's definitely taken a bit of a drop. You can find this book 9/8's going for right around 175. 9/6 is hitting that $100 mark. Now, I think what's going on here is we just have more people talking about who's going to take over the role of Wolverine more than when's the next time we're going to see X-23, regardless of how much of a fan favorite this character was.
Yeah.
So let's take a look at number 9 on this list here, because we have another kind of, I don't want to say it's a surprise, but not every character that was going to be debuted in the Spider-Verse movie that recently dropped is going to be popping. We have SpiderMan Noir number 1, the Dennis Solero variant. This was the 1 in 10. This is a gorgeous cover. SpiderMan Noir, the first appearance. You would think a variant comic book of this first appearance, very cool character, would have continued to rise, but unfortunately it didn't. It plummeted way down. It was going for above 200. Now it's dropped below $100 for that 9/8 copy.
And that is crazy because the regular cover, we were seeing raws in the $60 to $100 range, depending on what. I mean, a lot of those were going for a lot of money. So the fact that a scarce variant in a 9.8 is sub 100 for this.
With a movie under its belt now.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate, but there are other characters that made up for the fact that that character didn't land as hard. I mean, mind you, how many different anthropomorphic Spider-Hams are we going to talk about on this show pretty soon?
Oh, there's a bunch of stuff right now, but quite honestly, Nicolas Cage did a fantastic job of Spider-Man Noir, and the movie was great. It just won an Oscar for Best Animated Film. It's just a fun movie, and yeah, he did a great job. I'm sorry that it didn't hit as hard as the rest of those characters could possibly have, but really, it was just a fun one. You know, maybe it's a good time to pick this book up.
All right. It could be a sleeper. Just like this next one on the list, coming in at number 8, we have Doctor Strange, the volume number 3, issue number 44, The Kate's Key. This right here, first appearance of Sidorak. We thought that this may potentially be something in the community. This book never actually made the top 10 list.
No, it didn't, but I had a ton of people contacting me about it, people hitting me up on Instagram, people calling me at the shops like, hey, do you have number 4? And we knew that it was moving. We knew that it was going places. Understand that Cosmic Ghost Rider is about to destroy the Marvel Universe. That comes out in about a month and a half. And we know that Cosmic Ghost Rider has stuff to be doing with Dark Guardians and the new Donny Cates Guardians run. So there may be more happening with Sidorak. There may be more happening with all of that eventually.
He didn't say that this is going to happen right now.
No.
But he was kind of just chatting, ideas that are just going through his mind, and that's makes this a sleeper key. It doesn't mean that this is going to be popping this year. It could, which is why it was selling so aggressively. But this book, I mean, it saw its peaks right around, what was it, $30?
Yeah, just
and
about.
now it's going for under 10 cover price at times. I had Kate's sign and I graded my copy.
Which is good.
I thought it was fun. I thought it was a cool moment to, a comic book that was like sincerely spiked purely because of speculation. And you know what? I'm happy I got it signed by Kate's.
Oh, totally.
I think it was a cool thing to talk to him about.
Right.
All right. And then we have over here at number 7, Spider-Man 76. This was a book that was peaking right around $20 to $30 and has calmed down significantly to around $10, mostly because Morbius hasn't been the center of the conversation in regards to Spider-Man in films as of late.
Not in a very long time. The fact that we know that the Elementals are showing up in the next movie, we know that Mysterio is showing up in the next movie, no mention of Morbius, probably not going to be for quite some time, so we're just going to have to put him on the back burner until maybe next time there's a Spider-Man movie.
If Jared Leto continues to be the main person that they're going to be marketing as like being their pick to take on the role of the living vampire, this may just be another key to add to our sleeper pile. Moving on to this next book here at number 6, we have We Can Never Go Home number 1.
They've released a few good comic books. This was one that was supposed to hit and supposed to hit hard. Number 1 was going for $50 for quite some time.
People are excited about that
yes,
book, man.
the writer of number 1 got 3 more comic books. They're like, hey, you can release more things, and none of them have really hit. They were supposed to do a second volume of We Can Never Go Home, which still hasn't been released, and it doesn't look like it has a release date at all. And it was just a super popular book really, really quickly. And it seemed like Black Mask probably should have capitalized a little bit more on the popularity of that book by releasing something else or doing something else with the characters or whatever. And it just seems that it happened, it was great, and they moved on.
And that book has dropped. This book was out the gate, you mentioned it, going for right around that $50. Now we're seeing this book drop all the way down to around $20 for a raw copy.
And
Which is, I mean, for a book that is kind of settled, 20 is still a strong number.
yeah, but understand that Black Mask is a small independent, they're going to have lower print run books. And relatively speaking, there's probably a lot of lower print run books at a lot of indie companies that you could probably say $15 to $20 just because there's only 1,000 of them out there or 1,500 of them out there. This one had been popular and it's just not anymore.
Number 5 on the list. Excited to talk about this one because this week we have a new Marvel movie to add to the collection of epic proportions. We have Miss Marvel gracing the screen. I am stoked about this movie.
You're stoked about Flurkins.
I really am.
You just want to be able to say that on the
freaking cat, man. I'm stoked.
The cat does look really cool.
It's supposed to be awesome. I don't care if they change the name. It's supposed to be stealing the show.
Right.
All right. Avenging Spider-Man number 9 making the list here. And let's explain this. Like, let's not freak out, people. Your first Carol Danvers, your first Miss Marvels. Wait and see what happens here because we're going to find out with the results of this movie this weekend how good it is, if it's not, and whether or not these key appearances are going to be regretful purchases. We have Avenging Spider-Man number 9, peaking last year 9.8, exceeding $600. And right now, if you want to pick one up, we have 9.8s right around the $400 to $500 mark.
Wow, that is crazy. I remember about 5 or 6 months ago, my buddy Jake came into the shop. He's like, hey, if you can help me find this book. And we did a bunch of research, and the only one I could find was a raw copy that they were selling at like a VF or a VF minus. It was very clear, like there was a corner something, and it was like $300 for a raw copy that was very visibly messed up, like wouldn't get better than an 8.5 at best getting CGC graded. So the fact that you can get 9.8s for not that much more than that of a super popular character, super popular book, fantastic cover. I really like this one. Again, crazy that the market is so soft on this one right now.
It's calm before the storm, I think. I think this is the time where people are, if they're invested, they already got it. Like, they're not looking right now to pick up a bunch of copies of it.
No, they're probably not. But if you look at the comments on our Hot 10 list from the last couple weeks, you're going to notice that there's a lot of talk about the new Captain Marvel movie, but there's not a lot of optimism about the Captain Marvel movie. You're noticing that people are like, I will go see it. I want to see what happens. I'm not expecting much out of it. And I personally think it's going to be fantastic. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to bringing my daughters to it. I think it's going to be a super fun movie, and I'm excited to see how it ties into the rest of the MCU. Absolutely. But yeah, the general consensus from the people, at least small sample size, is that it's not going to be very popular and it's not going to be very good. So time will tell.
Now, I know we had different opinions about Venom. I thought it was
dumpster fire.
I thought it was pretty decent. Okay, but you know what? I like to wait till after. I want to hear the fans think. I don't really care what the critics say. So if you're watching this post Captain Marvel release, let us know what you think about the movie in the comment section below.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and then let's take a look at number 4. Russ, we got Darth Vader number 3.
Darth Vader number 3, the Sauer La Roca 1 in 25 variant. Now 9.8's topped down around $300, and they're going for $150 to $175 now, which is still a lot. That's still above ratio. It's good for a 9.8. This series wrapped up a few months ago.
This actually may not be a permanent. This may be actually something you want to look into buying. This is one of the reasons why I like this list so much.
It's a cool one, but yeah, it was a 25 issue series. It ended at 25, and there are just more people putting these things up for now. There's a new Vader series that's coming out in the next couple months. Darth Vader is always one of the big baddies in the Star Wars universe, one of the biggest, baddest villains of all time in any universe, anywhere. Just a fantastic character. And this is a really, really cool one, and it was a great variant. So I don't think it's going to be a massive recovery. I don't see it's going to be a $500 book anytime soon. If you like it, you might as well want to pick it up now. But yes, I think the market is soft just because it's ended and there's less people thinking about Darth Vader right now.
All right. And then coming in at number 3, we have Venom Inc., the Del Auto Omega #1 variant. You know, we've had a lot of really cool Venom variants hit the shelves over this last year. Not everyone is going to maintain that high price margin, especially a 1 in 50 for an artist that is well known to make a lot of good comics. I mean, you can get his covers for a lot cheaper than this one.
Oh, totally. Gabriel Delato does a ton of great variants, and it's just one of those cover artists that people want and people will buy and people will pick up. But if you're just going to make a wall of Delato variants, you don't have to spend thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars because there's a lot of these low ratio or even open to order variants that you can pick up. It's a cool one, but as you said when we were kind of doing prep for this, there's too many words on the cover, and I agree.
Yeah,
I like the
too much text.
It really, really is, but it's one of those that the number of words on the cover definitely detracts from the art of it. If we had a Stark cover or a Virgin variant, even at 1 in 50, not getting a Virgin variant makes it a little bit more difficult to be able to see this maintaining long term.
9/8s were at $200 a year ago. This has dropped to below 100 at that grade.
Crazy.
All right. And then let's take a look at number 2 because this one has also taken a tank significantly. To no surprise, we have Suicide Squad #1. Do you remember a couple years ago when this book started spiking? 9/8s were exceeding $400.
I remember Raws were 75 or so, and it's a Chaykin cover. I mean, this is
an awesome cover,
super
with
classic.
the faces and
I mean,
everything.
there's great homages that they've done to this cover, and we all were really super high on the Suicide Squad movie, and a lot of things that were potentially going to happen with this in the universe, and not so much. Just not necessarily a book to.
This is a book going just for over $100 now.
Yeah.
I mean, Suicide Squad as a movie, it all but failed.
A 9.8 is going for just over 100. Now, Raws were selling for 75 at this peak point in time. So a 9.8 absolutely pristine one you can get is only 11. I mean, like if you bought a Raw at 75 and paid $30 to get it graded, you would have lost $5.
Yep, that's rough. That's rough. But you know what?
It is, yeah.
But here's the thing though. This isn't a situation of, it's a variant, and I was really hoping this variant would be good because the artist has a track record of good variants. No, this is a situation where they just butchered the movie. It's just a terrible movie, and no one cares about Suicide Squad. They have to come up with a whole different franchise to include the one-hit character that even came out of the whole thing, and it wasn't even Will Smith. He doesn't even want anything to do with Deadshot anymore. So what are you going to do?
Wiki Wild Wild. I was watching the whole Deadshot thing, and it just looked like his James West impersonation anyway. Will Smith has only a couple characters that he plays, and he does really well at he does, but I was just watching Deadshot going, man, you are not Floyd, and it's just not working.
No.
It
didn't work, and he knows it. And I'm excited to see what James Gunn can do to possibly save this franchise because there are a number of really cool characters that they could use and that they can make into some hit cinematic success. And I don't think it's going to happen until then.
No.
All right, let's take a look at #1, though, because, Russ, we have an unboxing of this on my Instagram from like 2 years ago.
Yeah, 2 years ago when Tom was like, hey, let's do something cool. Let's open things on Instagram. Maybe we'll get something hot. Oh, yeah. So there was an Image blind box for Image 15th anniversary, I think.
Yeah, 25th.
25th anniversary?
Yeah, I think so.
God, I'm old. So yes, Image had a 25th anniversary blind box, and you got these bag comics, and you got to open them, and we were...
Where are those damn God countries, dude?
I don't know! I want those God countries.
I never sold them. They're somewhere.
Yeah, I can't find them. But there was, in fact, a book called Here's Negan, which was a Negan origin story. There were supposedly only 500 copies of this made, and Tom and I opened one of them.
That was a great feeling, man.
This book was hot. It was selling for a ton. Raws were selling for $350 to $400.
9/8s in the $500 range.
They
You remember that?
Crazy expensive.
Oh my God, Walking Dead. A year ago, man. Like, no, people didn't care about this stuff.
No,
it's a random variant from Walking Dead for a character that debuted years ago. But yeah, $500 a night.
It was spiking. It was super low print run. It is still sitting in a box at my shop, and I'm lamenting the fact that I didn't sell it. I actually think in Octiva, I have a buy it now auction made that is still sitting there that I was going to put the trigger
For
up
that one?
for that one
Oh,
at
no.
$399.99. Buy it
Okay,
now, and I
Russ.
decided not to.
Okay, Russ, if you were to turn that listing back on, what would you expect this book to get in today's market? Because it's on the not hot list at number 1, so
No,
it had to have taken a dive.
I think I'd probably put it up at 100 or best offer.
Oh, $100. That's a
which
bummer.
is really painful because they were selling at $350 for that one.
Sometimes books go up, sometimes they don't. And I do appreciate comicbookinvest.com, CBSI, for putting together this extra list. Looks like we're going to be doing it every month of books that had a change in value. Sometimes because they have dropped in value because the interest isn't just there right now, but other times because it just may be a good time, a good opportunity to add it to your hunt list.
Yes, this has been really, really fun, and I'm glad we get to do this. So thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment down below. Let us know what you think about these lists. And as always, geek responsibly.
Enough said. Thanks so much for watching the video. If you hit the link below, you can sign up for our comic book subscription service. It's called the Mystery Mail Call. We take a box of comics, we pack it with comic books and love, and send it to you every single month. Come join the community.